Finally, the day has come for us to start the TTRS. Let's first start with a quick recap of the journey so far. Now, for those of you who remember, I got the Audi TTRS in March of this year. It was category N because it was involved in some sort of incident, and I won the car via a co-part auction. This really was like a dream come true. I had finally obtained a car that I'd wanted since I was a teenager. The Audi TTRS is an iconic car, and I can genuinely say it feels like a dream come true. However, it's not been smooth sailing. This is the first time I've ever embarked on a project like this. I've never fixed a car in such condition before, but what I can say is I've learned so much from fixing this car. Primary damage to the car was all at the front end. As you know, it came with no rear headlights, no rear bumper, no front headlights. The rad pack was damaged, the fans were damaged, the radiator was damaged, there was no intercooler, there was no intake, it was missing auxiliary radiators, it was missing hoses. The secondary damage around the car wasn't the best either. And one of the biggest things I've learned is it's not cheap. And if I'm being totally honest with you, in addition to me just being generally busy, that's one of the reasons why the videos have been so delayed, because the reality is I've had to save up. But nonetheless, we are finally here to finish off what's left and get this TTRS started.
Yo, what's happening everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy Ranj, and I hope you're all doing very well. Now in today's video, the aim is to get you up to speed with the TTRS, which you can see behind me briefly there. And as I promised in the last video, we're going to hear the TTRS start for the first time in today's video, but we've got a lot of stuff to do to make sure that happens. I've got to drop the oil, I've got to inspect the oil filter, we're gonna have to change the coolant, but before we change the coolant, we're gonna have to ensure that there's no coolant leaks, and we've got to make sure that the front end is looking well put together. I am genuinely so sorry that it's taken so long for me to release these videos that I've documented on the TTRS. I've been really busy, as I've mentioned in my previous videos, around in my new job, and obviously I'm not using my wedding as an excuse anymore, but I've just been really busy, so apologies in advance that it's taken so long to get these videos out to you. But I'm so excited because you know what, I have been driving the TTRS, it has been amazing. There are some problems that I am currently experiencing with it. Still not 100% complete. I would say it's around 80% complete, enough to drive it. So what I did straight after the last video is actually create a spreadsheet, and now I've got a spreadsheet with every single cost associated with the TTRS build. In addition to the first drive, showing what issues I'm currently experiencing, I'm also going to be dropping a video in relation to the kind of associated costs and how much it's cost me to basically get the TTRS on the road. Because I think that's the most important thing. Yes, there are a couple of things I'm going to do to it, but those things are not really needed and were not really needed for me to get it on the road, if that makes sense. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. And let me now show you everything I needed to do to get the TTRS to start for the first time. I hope you enjoy it. So a bit of a story behind this bumper. I bought this bumper off eBay. Came up to, I think the total was 640 quid. Total bumper, grills, badges, everything. If anybody knows, you'll know how cheap I've actually got that. I looked everywhere, Germany, Poland, Romania, could not find a complete bumper. The cheapest one I could find, complete bumper, trim pieces, everything, I could find it for like £1,500, and that was, yeah, £1,500 to £2,000. So we're gonna unpackage this now. I had to pay delivery for this. First time I've ever used a service called Perovia, Proovia. It's a two-man delivery service, spot on, absolutely spot on. I don't actually know what this bit is, but this looks like a trim bit for the underneath. I don't know what this is for. Looks like it's something for the grill. I think, oh, so these are the side grill bits. It's ridiculous at how expensive things are. It really is. There we go, they're the side grills. Again, not sure what this is. Looks like for the lower part of the bumper maybe. Bring it close. There you go. TTRS. Feels very flimsy. Bumper is Nardo grey. I think the bit that's missing is essentially from here to here. It's like a bumper lip or something like that. I think I'm gonna get this sprayed in gloss black. So like I said, I'm getting married next week, and the aim is that I need a car, like not even for a wedding car now, I just need a car to get around because I'm getting married in West Yorkshire. The S3 won't be ready, weirdly enough, but the TT, oddly enough, will be ready. There is still bits of damage that I'm just not going to get done in time. Like there's a bit of damage there, bit of damage to the rear passenger side skirt. There's a bit of a scratch there. There's actually a I don't know really, a crease in the door.
The wings and the bonnet have all been freshly done, as of the wheels, so the wings and the bonnet are absolutely spot on. The bonnet, if I showed you what the bonnet looked like before, it was crazy. These bonnets are aluminium, as there are a lot of parts on the TT which make them really hard to essentially repair. Headlights to rain, doors with Jamie, I'm collecting that tomorrow, and then the side skirt is... Side skirt's in the garage, that's the old side skirt, and essentially I'll be putting that on, but the thing I'm waiting on are these little white brackets and clips that you can see.
Wow, I think we've got oil on our floor, guys. I've literally got an empty yogurt pot under that car right now catching oil.
Yeah, there's oil that's spilled all on the floor. I need to pick it up and do it Alice the only way. Ready, yeah?
Yeah. So we have to take this to the tip, don't we? The engine oil section. Yeah. A bit of metal.
And a bit of gunk as well. I must look like an absolute mess right now, but silly from me. I assumed that the sump plugs were the same. The sump plugs are not. So this is a sump plug I bought, but it's the wrong sump plug. The sump plug you need is on the floor, which I'll show you in a second. Additionally, the oil filter casing housing is so weird. Like, you have to have like a pipe and drain it. Also, you have to have a special tool. Apparently it's not very common on most Audi VW models, so just my luck, I suppose. But yeah, the reason why I wanted to drain the oil now is because I can't leave that liquid moly in overnight. You have to let it drain straight away, really. 15 minutes after you've added it in. Once it's idles, you let it cool down 5-10 minutes, and then whatever. Fortunately, the oil was still really warm. If I'd left that overnight, I would have to start the power up again, get up to temperature. Would have been no good. So rather than now, it's better because I've dropped all the oil. I'll do the casing now, because you can actually drop the oil by pressing a little thing and the oil will just squirt out. I will do that, and then what I'll do is I'll just change the oil filter tomorrow, and yeah, get a new sump plug too, and that's it, job done. Oh yeah, and this is the oil, this is the sump plug, so it's different. So it's a T45. Apparently it's like a copper flathead or something along the lines of that. So I'm going to put that in temporarily, just so then the oil stops dripping overnight. So, another day. Yesterday, the problems I ran into were the TTRS and the Audi RS3 8V oil filter. It's just completely different. Not only the filter, but the casing. So with this casing, you've got this like little, firstly, you've got this little lid. That's all I can really describe it as, this little screw lid. You screw that off, and then you've got this little thing, which I showed you yesterday when I was pressing with the screwdriver. You actually have like a little special tool for that. It's like a little hose pipe, a little drain hose pipe, and a little thing that you screw on. And instead of poking it, it kind of, when you screw it on, it kind of forces it for the fluid from the oil filter to drain. I finally got the right sump plug, so I picked that up from Audi today. And the other thing we needed was this. So a 76mm oil filter casing socket. I got it on my 3/4 wrench. I wanted it on the 1/2 socket, but it is what it is. So we're going to remove the oil filter today, change the oil filter, change the seal. And I also got some brake and clutch cleaner too. So let's crack on. Oh, that seems to have done the trick. Get this underneath. Woo! We did it. What we're going to do is now pop the new filter on. So it's the exact same one, and what we want to do is pop this on. New filter in. Quickly show you something. Where is it? Thought I'd just quickly show you something. So one thing that Nathan taught me to do is essentially go through this filter, which I've already done. Check for metal bits in between, any debris, check the whole thing already. I don't want to get my hands dirty again, but it was fine. You'll be able to see that the casing is now on, and it's all looking, yeah, decent, to be fair. All looks pretty good. Now we're going to lower it. Just essentially fill up some new oil bit by bit and just make sure there's no leaks ultimately, and that's it. We'll check the leaks after we do the 5 litres. We'll check leaks after we do let it idle for 60 seconds too. Although it's very warm today, so it should get up to temp very quickly. But yeah, let's crack on.
Now, because my wedding was around the corner during the time of me filming a lot of this footage, it meant I was working on extremely tight deadlines, meaning I would just go out, crack on, and have no time to really record. So I actually never captured any footage of me putting the oil in the car or showing if there were any leaks, but I can confidently say there were no leaks, and even a month and a half after on, there are still no oil leaks. I have noticed that there is a slight seep around the oil pan, but that's very common where the seal goes. So at the next oil inspection, I will most likely get that seal replaced. But coming up next, coolant.
Basically, I ran into a couple of issues, and that's why I'm not going to make its own standalone video. I am actually going to basically incorporate this into showing you what's wrong, and then basically maybe incorporating into something else. So, as you can see here, I bought this vacuum fill coolant kit off Amazon. It's a bit of a shame because I actually really don't need it, and I'll get into why. But ultimately, you get this pressure gauge. This hose will go into the coolant, and it'll basically just get the coolant and put it into your coolant tank reservoir, fill it up. And you get all these different heads with it and whatnot. Now, in addition to that, let me move you back over here. You get this pump, again with a gauge on it, and this connects directly to a head, and then again, directly to your coolant tank reservoir. And the purpose of this pump is to basically check if there's any pressure, if the coolant system is holding pressure, and it basically then, as a result, helps you establish if there's any leaks. Now, I was trying all this out before obviously I did the video, because I want the video to be as concise as possible and as clear as possible, and I was pumping it up. And I was realising, you know what, I'll be here all day. I just could not get the pressure to hold. I could not build up the pressure in this tank. I thought, is this tight enough? Is anything else? And then, lo and behold, I started to hear like a hiss that you would from like a, I don't know, like a basketball. Now, maybe you could have heard that. That's basically a hiss from a leak. And I've identified where the leak is. I don't know why I'm looking down there. I've identified where the leak is. I'll show you exactly where it is. Really annoying, but this is amazing. I would highly recommend one of these if you need to identify where, if you've got a leak ultimately. It does take two people, because you typically need one person to pump and then the other person to kind of follow the hissing sound. And that's exactly what I did. So earlier, Alicia was pumping, building up the pressure as much as she could. I found the leak. I kind of plunged it with my, is that the right word, Ali? Plunged it? Yeah, plunged it. Kind of like filled, yeah. I stopped the leak with my thumb ultimately, acting as a bit of a barrier. And I could feel the kind of air, and I could feel the pressure building up within the pipes. I literally let go, and it was like a basketball burst. You got the pressure up to 10, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it stayed there. I let go of my thumb, just dropped. So we need to replace a little part. What I'm going to most likely do is order just some regular silicone or rubber pipe, or hose, sorry, connect it, and hopefully that's job done. Now, I spoke to Nathan at Aries Tuning, because Nathan is basically a mastermind when it comes to like these engines and just cars in general, but particularly MQB. Even though he works a lot on the EA888 Gen 3, Gen 2 engines, he knows a lot about the Dazzler engines too, and even the S3 engines and all the kind of 5-pot engines, because he works on them. I asked him, Nathan, do I really need to use this vacuum fill? Because Ranj, you're overthinking it. He was like, just make sure there's no leaks, fill up the coolant as you would on your S3. And he goes, basically, when the engine builds up pressure, he goes, those kind of like any kind of air bubbles, so to speak, or any air will just kind of go away themselves. I've literally got coolant everywhere, all over me, all over my hands, everything. I really don't want to touch the mic, but you can see this is the hose that had the hole in it. And I'll show you exactly where it had it in. So I've made some additional holes because it really took me, it was really annoying to get out, but there you go. That's where the gash was. Firstly, no more hurting my knees. Alicia's got me one of these kneeling pads, and then secondly, I managed to get a pipe. So I got this from Amazon. I've had to cut it. It's a little bit thicker, maybe 0.2 millimeters larger in diameter in terms of internal. It's a little bit thicker anyway from the outside diameter, but I'm hoping it should work. We are going to basically test it. Ooh, it's quite nice actually, kneeling on this pad, I will say that. So I'm going to jack the car up, but essentially these are the kind of pipes that I need to reconnect. So that essentially is going to go straight into there, the clamps there for that, and then the other ones are there. So I do need to get the car jacked up. I need to get the car jacked up anyway, so I've got a little bit more clearance for the to remove the oil filter and whatnot. But yeah, hopefully car gets started today and we can get it moving. So we're going to see how this is going to go. So you can see I've put the pipe on there. This needs to connect to this bit here where I'm touching with my finger, and if we can get that done, we've done it really. So let's try. Switched over the pipes now. I can give you a quick look, but before I do, we're actually going to test if pressure is holding. You're going to pump for me. Let me know if it's holding pressure. I'm going to go to the bottom and...
I'm in my pyjamas.
Fine, I'm going to get the camera in a sec. Right, so this is a new pipe that I've connected here that you can see. Right, you should go ahead and pump. We'll see if I can...
Why do I need to stop?
Just keep going. I'm tired, and yeah, things are just not going the way I planned them to go. So I got that aftermarket coolant radiator hose from Thebby Bilstein. It was from Amazon next day delivery. I thought, you know what, I had to cut it in half firstly because it was too long. The shape was very similar, but the pipe, like I said, it was a bit big in terms of the internal diameter. Now the OEM hose clamps, they would fit over the standard OEM coolant hose pipe because it, you know, just goes over it. Because the Thebby Bilstein one was too big, it really struggled to go over it, especially when it went onto its mounting place. And in the clip before this, we were testing whether it would hold pressure. Unfortunately, this wasn't holding pressure. I got up to 14 psi. It was dropping 13, 12, 11, and I thought, you know, it's going to keep going down and down, and I'm not going to wait here. Evidently there is a leak somewhere, albeit very small. So what I did was, I'm not sure if you remember, I made a TikTok video the other day actually saying the difference between OEM quality and aftermarket quality between the hose clamps, because they were both supposed to be 27mm, the OEM ones being 27, the aftermarket ones stating they were, but they definitely weren't. Full circle, they've actually now been a bit of a lifesaver because they are bigger. They actually go over the larger Thebby Bilstein aftermarket pipe, and I'll show you exactly what I've done. It's 2 clamps per side, so the larger aftermarket one on the end and the OEM one just before, and then the same thing here as well. OEM's a grey one and the black one's the aftermarket one, and it seems, I believe, to be doing okay. So yeah, that hasn't dropped a dot. That is looking wicked now. So let's just put it there again, and you guys can let me know if it drops. I'm confident it won't. It's been 8 minutes so far. I cannot even begin to tell you how excited I am for me and Alicia to start this engine. Alicia's like, Ranj, you've got to make sure that when you start the engine, I'm there. She's now even starting to look for number plates like TTRS Ali. Ali's a nickname. And yeah, she's fully obsessed with the car now, and I'm really happy because she never even liked TTs. So I fixed the coolant pressure system. It's not dropped anything, put it that way. I'm super excited. I can basically now just press this little quick release. Let all the pressure just drop. You can see it dropping. We're just gonna fill to to the minimum line. Now the positive thing is I can't see any leaks. And what we'll do is we put this cardboard right underneath. We should spot any leaks really.
Do you have to keep your foot on the brake?
Not yet, wait. So what we'll do, that's fine, I don't know, I just need to clear that code, I think. Right, I'm gonna go have a quick look at the front, okay? Just put the window down, yeah, put the window down a bit easier. I think everything seems okay. Right, foot on the brake, just give it a start.
Firstly, I hope you guys are as impressed and happy as I was, and I am, that I was able to fix that coolant leak. What are the chances? I get the oil done, I get the coolant done, and then the battery's dead. But don't worry, as you'll see in a second, it was a quick fix.
Needed this battery that my brother recommended. So it's a Noco Boost XL GB50, and apparently this is really good for basically giving juice, so to speak, to cars that are literally just dead out flat. So it works on my brother's Audi RS6 C6 with it. I don't know if it makes a difference of how big the car is, but yeah, let's hope this works and the TTRS starts round 2. Ali, are you hopeful?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Like, we realised that we didn't have like the jumper start cables. Everyone I know has them. My brother's got, my mum's got, my dad's got them.
My dad's got them.
So we should probably need this anyway. For I think over time we've actually bought so many things for our household, don't you think?
Yeah, I know. We've got enough to open a mechanic shop and a DIY store.
There's going to be a lot that's going on right now. I'm going to obviously get the jumper cables for the no-co boost connected. Leashes will start it. Once it's started, I'll take it off, then I have to go to the front and just basically see what's going on with the coolant system. So red to positive first. Let's get these on. Will that be? Yeah, that's enough. What I'll do is I'll do it like that. So red to positive, black to okay, moment of truth, guys. There we go. Woo! No leaks underneath there, which is what we want. Means my little fix worked perfectly. So far it's probably taken around 11.5, 12 litres of coolant.
Now annoyingly, both my S3 and my TTRS have the same issue, but it's being caused by two different things, I think. I'm going to get into what that issue is, what it's being caused by, and what I'm going to try to do to rectify it in the interim. So like I said, I've got the issue on the TTRS and on the S3 kinda, but let me show you the TTRS's issue first. So the window wipers work perfectly fine, but the issue is the actual washer jets don't work. So I think I'm gonna have to replace that. I want to ensure that the window's as clear as possible when I drive, but I can't do that if obviously I'm driving and the window washer jets don't work, but the wipers do. All the wipers are gonna do is just basically smudge dirt. Now prior to me even owning the car, this car has not been washed in, well, to be fair, I don't actually know how long, because it most likely would have been sat there for months upon months and months, just gathering dirt and debris. On the S3, it's actually to do with the front headlight. Now, as you know, I retrofitted a genuine Audi RS3 front bumper, and for some reason, I'm having some issues with the front headlight washer jets. So essentially, like the glass on the TTRS, these are just basically going to look horrible all the time, but hopefully not for long. And that's because of this, the G-Technique Complete Glass Coating Kit. This isn't the first time I'm using G-Technique products. My OZ Racing wheels are actually coated in the G5 wheel armour. Anyway, let's unbox this. I'll show you exactly what we get inside. We'll apply it and hopefully see what the results look like. Now, hopefully you can see I've unboxed and laid everything out on the table, and I'm going to quickly go through each of these products and the benefits, but I'm going to try and let the results do the speaking for themselves. So we'll start with this. This is the G1 Clear Vision Smart Glass. The second thing that you get in the box is this. So this is the G4 Nanotech glass polish. I'm very much looking forward to use this on the Audi S3 front headlights. This is probably the best glass cleaner out there. Most glass cleaners that I've used, in my opinion, always leave like a smeared kind of like finish. This will not do that. It will give it a crystal clear effect finish. So in the box, you only get one red AP3 soft foam applicator. I got two, and that's just because I actually got an extra product, so I just thought I'd get another one. These are amazing. So this is the MF5 Power Glass Cloth, and essentially the weaves on the cloth evenly remove microscopic grime from the surface of windows. And very lastly is this. So you don't get this in the box. So this is the water repellent coating. This lasts up to 4 months. How can I forget one of my favorite products? The MF1 0R microfiber buff cloths. These are, like I said, the best microfiber cloths that you will ever use. So one particular reason I'm really looking forward to use this is actually on the inside of my front windscreens. I don't know if anybody gets it, but I absolutely hate when the inside of my windscreen is dirty from like fingerprints, just smudges and smears. It just makes it so hard to look at your windscreen. So I'm really looking forward to basically clean all the glass that I possibly can on both cars. But to show you all these products in action, I'm going to focus on the Audi S3 and the front headlight, and on the TTRS I'm going to focus on that very dirty rear windscreen. First, try to give you the best kind of possible before that I possibly can. You can see that extremely dirty, loads of little micro scratches in there. And then let me give you a quick before of this windscreen. You can see there's, you know, what seem to be like cat paw prints on there. There we go. So very simple. What you want to first do is essentially get your G6 Perfect Glass Cleaner, couple of sprays, 2 to 3 is fine for such a small area, and all you want to do is get this absolutely amazing cloth. You just want to wipe away all that dirt all around. The way it catches dirt is just amazing. Now after you've used your G6 clear glass, you want to get one of your soft foam applicators, dab a little bit on here, and you just want to work in, you know, circular motions. Try to get all the area you possibly can, and then all you need to do is get your cloth and essentially just wipe away any excess Now with the water repellent coating, ultimately all you get is the water repellent coating. But when you buy the G1 Clear Vision Smart Glass, you get a few things, and this is very similar to how the C5 wheel armour comes. You get some cotton pads, and you also get 2 bottles in there, hopefully you can see. So you get the actual coating, but you also get a residue remover. I'm going to show you the difference that the G6 Perfect Glass Cleaner has made in addition to that polish. So hopefully you can see the difference it's made. In my opinion, you can definitely see a big difference. Like I said, I have got a little bit there. I'll wipe that off in a second, but yeah, a massive difference in my opinion. A lot clearer, a lot more translucent looking. So again, let's start with the G6. Basically give this a good clean. Now one of the other main reasons I actually forgot as to why I'm focusing on the rear windscreen of the TTRS is because the TTRS, and I think it's just a TT problem in general, is actually known to have an issue where water leaks in the boot. So water gathers and just leaks in the boot. So every time you open the boot, especially when it's been a rainy day, it can leak. And that's obviously really annoying because obviously you end up with loads of water in your boot. Now I'm hoping by applying, well, cleaning it, one, because it needs a clean, and also then applying a coating to it, will actually maybe reduce that problem, because it'll be repelling the water downwards towards the spoiler, which is what it should really do, because it's obviously a slope and at an angle. Look at that. That's just the G6 cleaner being applied. I mean, look at that, smear-free finish. G4, a good shake, circular motions. These foam applicator pads are fantastic. Start wiping away. So we're gonna go over it once again. We'll get one of these pads, apply maybe 5 drops. So it's been about 15 minutes. Now I'm going to use the G2 to get rid of the residue. And voila, all done. Now check that out. Wow. Hopefully you can see the camera reflection, but that is amazing. I did say the results would speak for themselves. G-Technique never essentially lets me down. They're amazing. If you are looking to basically replenish your glass on your headlights, your mirrors, your actual windshields or your windows, have a look into G-Technique's complete glass cleaner kit. Trust me, it's amazing. This is the result overnight. Crazy beads. Look at that. Look how seamless the water just drains off. And that's exactly what I wanted, right? For it to just essentially slope off, not to... It's literally dripping all the way down. That is crazy. So we've got the bumper, and the paint is absolutely amazing, to be fair. It still does need to be flattened and polished a little bit, but for the most part, really nice finish. And this was all done by JSO Automotive. We're in the final penultimate stages of getting this car on the road. It's been taxed, got MOT, just need to get car insurance, and then we are good to go. So I really hope I can get it ready for my wedding, because I really wanted the S3 to be the car that I attend the wedding in, but let me show you where it's at. Let me show you what's needed to get it ready for my wedding next week. So we've got headlights. We are waiting on some screws for these headlight bolts. There's like a bracket here which is needed for this headlights bolt here. We've got the front bumper to go on. I need to figure out where this goes. I did buy all of these wires brand new, so I've got parking sensors and whatnot, as you can see.
Well done.
Ali, thoughts?
Oh, that's so good.
That's good.
I've never seen it finished.
Yeah. I'm gonna, will you just hold it whilst I look? I don't know where the keys are.
Near the donut stand.
I'm not sure how, but you know what? We fucking did it. There's a bit at the bottom that's missing. I've damaged the bumper a little bit, but you know, wow. Cannot believe I did it. Just a quick one really, the TTRS front end is now complete. I had to take the bumper back off, and what I did is change the front parking sensors on the grille to black, because I didn't realise that they would need... I basically got them painted blue, which is a bit of a waste, but it is what it is. There was something missing there, like a little bit of a trim and the correct screw, so I put that on. I've put the correct foam piece on now. As you can see, that's the incorrect foam piece for my S3. So because I run the Forge Motorsport larger intercooler, you have to basically make a couple of adjustments to the foam piece that kind of homes or houses the pedestrian pressure sensor hose. Now I have just put this on, so let me see if I can quickly take it back off, but I haven't unfortunately I've not pinned it down yet, so
Don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there. So can you see there? That is the pedestrian pressure sensor hose.
what can I say, it feels so good to have the TTRS around 80 to 85% complete. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, it's not complete yet. There are still things that I need to iron out, and in the upcoming videos, and I'm going to really try to get that. This was the hardest video to edit because it was such a long video, and I basically tried to include everything I've done over weeks and months into one video. The next couple of videos shouldn't really be a delay, because it's essentially me talking through one of the main issues. So the remaining 15 to 20%, which is required for the TTRS to be regarded as complete, really comes down to a couple of things, which I'm planning on doing in December. Obviously, I just need to essentially save up. Like I said, one of the other reasons why some of these videos have been delayed is just because things are expensive, right? And I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, yes, it's easy. I'm not. I don't really want to. It's difficult. That's all I can say. So the next 3 videos that you can expect after this video will be: 1, how much it's cost me to date to get the TTRS on the road. Another video will be the first drive, and I'll maybe combine this with the other video, the current problems that I'm currently facing and what I plan to do to rectify those problems, because they're the things that are basically holding the TTRS to be complete ultimately. I think the car is tuned. I will get into that when I basically do the first drive video, but I've got plans for that too, and I don't want to share them now. But you know what, it's been amazing. Like I said, I've never done anything like this before. I've learned so much, and yeah, it was tough, it really is. So totally unrelated, but as you can see, I'm in the Peak District with the S3, and it looks absolutely fucking gorgeous, if I say so myself. The stock front end is on, so that's a brand new bumper, brand new inner grille, new tyres all the way around, fresh alignment. So it's got the Sport Contact 7s. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed the series so far on my TTRS build, and I hope you're looking forward to the next couple of videos that I'm going to be releasing soon. But listen, until next time, take it easy, peace.